For this build, you'll need these push button switches, these LEDs, this 6-position rotary switch, some 100 ohm resistors, 2 toggle switches. These are 3-position on-off-on toggle switches. You do have to get single pole because they're the ones that'll fit into the circuit board. This IDC 40-pin connector, rotary encoder, these 3D printed parts, and you can print them in black and just paint the text on top if you like. This metric hardware, this decal I printed on a shipping label, and this circuit board you can find on the Patreon or on the web store. I'm using the IDC Breakout board system because I love it. It's open source on my GitHub. You can just plug it in directly to this guy and it makes connection super easy. But you can also use the pinout on the back of the circuit board and wire it to an Arduino. Let's start off with soldering the circuit board. I'll start off with the resistors. They're all 100 ohms except for the middle LED, which is 150 ohms. Normally I'd press it against the table and solder, but let's try this guy. My high school teacher actually gave me this vise because he is a really cool person. I filled in all the resistors except for resistor 2, R2 right here, and I'm gonna go for it. And finally, this is the resistor we're looking for. 150 volts on R2. I mean, ohms. Ohms on R2. We had a close one there. Now I'll put in all of the buttons and LEDs. Make sure to align the long end with the little tiny plus at the top, the short end by negative. Now we'll put in these LEDs. There's a little tiny flat edge on one of the sides. Make sure to line that up with the other side. Here's a yellow LED and a white one. These two are a little different. I actually have little spacers for them. Look at that. They have their own little platform. That's so cute. You can confirm that these actually work by putting this on, making sure they actually fit. All right. I just bent them all so they'd stay upside down. And now I can go to the claw. Oh my gosh, I was about to be Woody for Halloween. Did I make the wrong choice? I'm actually being Curious George. The last few components we have are these toggle switches. These actually fit really nicely into place. Make sure they're pressed all the way, as far as you can get them down without breaking anything. I like to have this little notch down so it's not as visible, but I just keep it consistent. Throw in a rotary encoder, and finally this rotary switch. Hey, got it. I don't know how much of that cut out, but it was probably a sizable chunk, and I'm probably screwed. Anyways, these heat set inserts go on the back of this, like so, and then we can attach the sticker onto here. I got this app called My Light. It wants me to rate it, but I can align stuff super easily on it. Someone told me to get a light pad, but then I realized that I don't have to buy one. I think this also works for the iPhone. Oh, I can just align it like this. I know you only see the back of my head, but I've got a good back of my head, so I'm not too worried. Make sure that the smaller edges are on the top. And then align it around the buttons. Just center it. Rub it down to make sure it got stickied. And then if you cut around this black outline, just roughly, it'll cover itself up, or it should. Now you can press it through here, and there we go. It hit all the edges. There we go. I like how that looks. Now these buttons should be all printed in order. I would print them with a little brim if you can, just so they stay in order. That's the only reason, really. And then you can even push them all in order. Wow, that's actually the first time I've done that. Genius. And take off the brim while the buttons are there. Man, someone should give me a degree. That'd be really nice. I would love to graduate. Press that down, move the other one, and then you don't have to do the little, it's almost like a Wordle. Every time you have to arrange all the buttons, it's crazy. All of this only for me to drop it in a few seconds. Got all these heat sets, got the lettering right here. Now we can attach this. And there we have it. Well, almost there we have it. Ooh, yeah, Navy. Okay, now we can screw all these in These three are the 8mm long ones, and then the rest are 12mm. Now you just have to put the cap on these rotary encoders and the rotary switch. Twist it all the way left to make sure it's on the right position. Just press it on. There you go. All right, we have this all done. We can use it as an epic snowplow. Or we can configure it in MobiFlight. You do have these 4 screws. This one isn't threaded to anything. I might make an edit that you can tap it into the plastic, because there's just enough room to do that. You have these 4 screws in the corner. You can mount it to stuff. Just make a cutout for this connector, and you might need a little bit of a spacer. You can either do that and mount it directly to a panel, or you can add it to the radio stack mounting system, which I haven't printed yet, which is really awkward.
The wiring is super simple if you use the Captain Bob breakout board system. In the description below, I'll show you this entire system, and that includes ways so that you can have a spreadsheet and merge multiple avionics together to make everything nice and modular. To configure this, you can open up MobiFlight. Alright, and in the GitHub, you'll find section 2, avionics, radios, and annunciators, and then it'll be the KMA-28 right here. Go into MobiFlight and click the MFMC. Click Upload Config, and you're all good there. Also go File, Open, and in that same KMA folder, go to KMA-28 MCC. And then right here we have orphaned serials found. We have a whole Batman situation here. So you can select an orphan serial. This is the one in the file, and then select a connected module. This is our physical Arduino. Select it. There's only one connected, but just match the names. Click Assign and OK. And now everything should be running, except for Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Now we can click Run and see what happens. If everything goes to plan, then it should work. And we can see that we have all of these lights working right here. Okay. You'll notice aux doesn't connect to the simulator, but it still does just toggle the light. But also, aux doesn't do anything in your simulator, so you can't win them all. There's also this volume knob right here you can twist. Notice this is a rotary encoder, so it goes on forever. I tried to match it loosely to the actual volume knob position right here. We also have the switches and the receiver. If you're nerdy about this type of thing, it is kind of fun to look through this configuration I made. COM3, let's start there. This says, oh, let's set co-pilot transmitter to 2 and pilot transmitter to 2. And it starts at 0. That's why 3 is 2. And then for COM2, it does the same thing, but with 1. And then for COM1 and 2, it says set pilot to 1 and co-pilot to 2. And then for 2 and 1, it just switches it. I actually added these presets for everyone. I hope you find this audio panel helpful and that you can use it for like VATSIM or something. I will give you one more quick tip. If you want any of these buttons to do a keyboard shortcut, maybe this aux button could be a fancy shortcut button for something in VATSIM or something. So we can scan for input, press our button, and then instead of Microsoft Flight Simulator, we will do MobiFlight keyboard input. Now if we open up a sticky note, whenever we press aux, it presses a star. So this is a good way that you can put data between your simulator and some external programs. So if you need some sort of VATSIM thing, you have an extra button with aux. And honestly, you could do the same with speaker, because I'm not sure you're gonna use that one either in your simulator, realistically. You can also use the same with push for off. I haven't found that in the simulated, so it's just an extra input. You can also make sure that everything works by just going through tests and making sure that everything goes smoothly. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fantabulous day. I hope you have a great time building this, if you so desire. And I'd like to say a huge thank you to Alexandre, Bala, Bill, Chris, David, ECD Crew, Herman, Juan Fortis, Marcelo, Marius, Pierre, Pim, Stacer, and Tuna Power for supporting this channel, helping me develop all of this stuff, and I hope to see you in the next video. Have a good one.